This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I am one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, did you say I'm him?
I'm Tim. I had a thing happen.
Oh, I thought you were proclaiming yourself God, and I'm him. I'm him. I've returned.
No, I just
from heaven.
Had a little mouth thing going on.
Here was one thing I was never clear about in the Bible. Can we start talking about this? Let's start off this episode about Star Wars by talking about the Bible.
Yeah.
When Jesus came back, when he rose, right? They were real cagey about like where he went after that, right?
What do you mean?
It was like, oh, he came back, he returned. And then it's like, cool. Then, so what? How long did he hang out for? And it's like, oh.
I think, Tom.
Or did nobody see him when he came back? It was just that the body was gone.
Number one, Tom, I'll tell you, I'm not qualified to answer these questions. Number two, these things.
Well, what were those years in seminary school for?
See, I went to cemetery school, Tom.
Oh, that's the opposite.
It was so spooky.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom. Please don't bring up my years in cemetery
those
school.
Those are the priest's worst enemies.
Cemetery school graduates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undertakers.
Exactly. No, the priests and the undertakers, they get along pretty well.
Yeah.
You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
A morbid union, if ever there was one.
Tom, I guarantee there are answers to those questions. You don't need to bring them up like, isn't this stupid? Wow. Tom,
I'm telling you. Mom did not have answers to these questions.
Why are you saying this?
Well, she didn't have them. I would ask this kind of thing, and she didn't know.
And she was your religion?
She was a after-school religion teacher. Not every day after school.
I don't think you asked those questions.
I did ask those questions.
Cutting up.
I wasn't cutting up.
Yeah, you're real cut up.
You from the 1930s?
Huh? That's how kids talk now, Tom.
I was busy cutting up, but I still would ask the tough questions about God.
Yeah, but I think she was probably just like, screw this kid.
She was like, I'm working off of a worksheet here.
No, I'm sure she knew. I think she was just like,
She wanted to keep it to herself.
This question is not being asked in good faith.
Get me signing up for the next religion class.
Tom, I'm ready to blast off into the cosmos because it's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge week on The Complete Guide to Everything.
Yeah. Tim, for the uninitiated, well, for the really uninitiated, let me preface this by saying, like, we didn't go to this. We weren't.
Like, no, we're talking about it.
Yeah, I know, but like a lot of people are doing content about this that are like people that other reporters that got an invite from Bob Iger to go pal around with the Ewoks.
Yeah. We
did not yet. Hopefully after this they will.
Well, we're off to a great start.
Maybe I can ask Chewbacca whatever happened to Jesus afterwards.
All right.
You know what his answer would be? Probably something like, that's all he ever says, this guy. Tim, what is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge?
Tom, it is a theme park experience, the likes of which will surprise you so much, your wig will blow right off. Once you go to this place, Tom, it'll never be the
blow off. I think it was fly off.
What?
I think it was your wig will fly off.
Tom, don't worry about my catchphrase.
Or are you working on a variant T-shirt now?
Tom, don't worry about my catchphrase. You develop your own catchphrases. All right?
All right.
Seriously.
Mine's whatever happened to Jesus.
Whatever happened to Jesus?
Yeah, I bet I could sell a lot of shirts that say that.
Yeah, I think people would take it the wrong way, though.
No, they would take it like, yeah, what did ever happen to Jesus? Bring Jesus back.
Yeah, but like maybe to like society, to
right,
like our
but
schools.
Mine would be no. What happened after they went in the cave and he was gone? The tomb.
Tom, in both Disneyland in Anaheim, California,
right,
and Walt Disney World's Hollywood Studios in Orlando, Florida,
formerly MGM Studios, if I'm not
correct.
mistaken.
Yeah, it's a land. A long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, that you
No, I thought it was in Orlando and Anaheim.
that you can visit with your family and see the sights and ride the rides of the wild frontier planet of Batu.
So you're telling me I have to bring my mom?
Yeah.
I don't think she'd be interested in going to this.
Your mom
and
wants to go to this so
No,
badly. But guess what, Tom? I'm already taking her.
I told my wait, what?
Huh?
I told my mom the other day that I saw the movie Rocket Man, and her response was, "Oh, with Robert Downey Jr." It's like, "No, you idiot! That's Iron Man, and he's dead now. Thanks a lot for bringing it up."
Tom, you are in a mood today.
Yeah.
You need to settle down.
I wish I could go to Galaxy's Edge, burn off all this energy.
Yeah, Tom.
You know what? I think this is what did it, Tim. I had some of these athletic greens this morning.
What does that mean?
It's like this isn't an ad. It's like the green powder. You put it in water and you drink it.
Oh. And you think that's why you're acting like an asshole now?
I think it just gave me more energy than I normally have.
Okay, well, I don't like it. And you've also been drinking a lot, it seems
No,
like?
I've had one beer.
All
I've
right.
had one beer.
Okay.
I mean, I'm on the second one, but
Are you?
yeah, there's a second one.
Okay.
But I just started it.
Okay, Tom. All right. Oh, getting a little defensive, are we?
Look, I've had a long day.
I had athletic greens and I'm all crazy. I need to smooth it out with some with a massive amounts of
bring
beer.
myself back down.
Tom,
Mm-hmm.
what is your history with the Star Wars franchise?
Do you
want to go to this thing?
been in any of the Star Wars movies yet. My history, I've talked about this
You're
on
being obtuse this week, Tom.
well, now I'm trying to be a cute boy. Anyway.
Tom, this is the third time you've cracked yourself
I
up.
know. It's pretty on a real tear.
Yeah.
I've talked about this on the show that I grew up not a Star Wars kid. Like, we were too young. We were not around when these movies came out.
No, we were still babies in heaven.
We were either not born or babies in heaven by the time, like, the last one came out. No, the last one we were babies.
Yeah.
And my family was just never into it. Like, so I never watched these movies growing up. Like, I watched Ghostbusters and Back to the Future growing up. So I get the nostalgia for all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I understand the nostalgia for Star Wars, but I didn't see the Star Wars movies until I was like an old teenager.
Till they re-released them.
Yeah.
In '97, the special editions.
Right. That was the first time I saw them. So, which is pretty cool because
You
the
know
first
what was
time,
really cool? The toys you could get at Taco Bell based on
that
them.
was during the episode 1 you're thinking
No, it
of.
wasn't. It was the re-release, Tom, because they had the.
Well, they
the
also had pretty cool toys during episode 1 then.
Tom, why are you being like this?
No, because I remember the toys from
I know, but
episode
you're
1.
correcting me on things that you're wrong about.
I don't recall the re-release toys. What were they?
There was this one. It was like a cube.
That's episode 1 where it had the mirror and you would see the ship floating.
No, Tom, let me talk.
All right.
On one side, it was Yoda,
Okay.
and it was a mirror thing.
Mhm.
And like you look in one side of the cube, you see Yoda's whole face. There was
Yeah.
a mirror too. And on the other side, it was Darth Vader, and you saw his whole helmet, and it was like the two sides of the coin right there.
Ooh. Yeah, so they reused that idea then for episode 1. toys.
Probably, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom, I was trying to say something. You don't always have to interrupt with your own anecdote.
Well, I do if I think you're wrong, based on no evidence of mine. Yeah, so that was the first time was that the first time you saw them when they were re-released in the late 90s?
I had caught portions of them on WPIX Channel 11. They'd run them a lot.
Yeah, I would catch a little here and there.
I saw the Ewok Adventure, I think, when I was a small child.
Me too, and I liked it.
Yeah, but
I liked what I saw.
But I wasn't like, let me further explore this. I pretended that I saw them, and I was like into them a little bit. Like, oh yeah, Star Wars, cool. Yeah, I've seen all 3 of them. To this day, I haven't seen Return of the Jedi.
Oh, then you don't even know what happens.
No, I guess I don't. I was gonna set you straight, but I don't think I do. They build another Death Star, right?
Yes, I think so.
And good prevails over evil.
You'll have to watch to find out. Yeah. So, and then what about the prequels?
The prequels, I saw the
First
Phantom
one.
Menace.
Of course, everybody went wild for that one.
Everybody was excited about it. And
What was that,
everybody,
98?
99, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Why don't you consult your Taco Bell toys, Tom?
No, I'll just check on Wikipedia.
Why don't you check the freaking
If I had the
copyright date imprinted
well,
on the
sometimes they
bottom?
copyright things before the movie comes out, though.
Everybody, I saw the Phantom Menace, and everybody's like, "This movie stinks." And I was like, "This is just as bad as every other movie like this."
Yeah, but when you watch 99, when you watch the other, like when you watch them all, that one is obviously just like real. It's no worse than something like Independence Day or the Matthew Broderick Godzilla. Like I remember seeing Phantom Menace.
Well, Phantom Menace didn't have even one Foo Fighters song on their
That's true.
on their soundtrack,
Not even a B-side.
let alone a Puff Daddy Jimmy Page collab for the ages.
Remember, like they would show the behind the scenes for that endlessly on MTV, and we were supposed to be impressed that Puff Daddy, he was Puff Daddy at the time.
Yeah, we're not just out of touch.
Yeah, and Jimmy Page,
Era appropriate naming,
collaborated via satellite for this, and I remember even at the time thinking like, oh, neither of them even gave enough of a shit to hop on a plane.
Yeah, but at the time, the feat of telecommunications technology was enough to delight the world.
No, by that time I was like, I don't know, that's what like CNN does. I'm not that impressed.
Well, you were like, enough of this rock and rap collaboration. Give me CNN's world-class reporting.
I was like, if you guys aren't careful, we're going to wind up with a new genre called rap rock, and we'll all be real sorry.
I think that was portended 5 years earlier with the Judgment Night soundtrack.
Oh,
7 years earlier? I don't know. When was the Judgment Night soundtrack?
I'm not sure. You'd have to ask Emilio Estevez.
I'd have to check the... Ooh, what about Dennis Leary? Was he in that movie?
I think he was also in that movie.
Dennis Leary was cool.
Dennis Leary was never cool.
Yeah, he was, Tom.
Just because he smoked cigarettes all the time?
And leather jacket, and he was just like, I don't care.
Yeah, listen, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Smelled.
Did he?
He probably smelled like cigarettes.
Yeah, and leather.
Yeah.
I
He's
know.
a cool guy.
I know how much that impresses you. You're always telling me, like, you smell that guy? I'm like, no, why? He smells like cigarettes and leather.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
This
He's
must be some sort of Dennis Leary type fella.
Yeah, you think he's got a bike? You think he's got a hog? Yeah, I'm with you that the Phantom Menace, when I saw it, I was like, cool movie. Guys fighting with lightsabers, pod racing happening. I'm in.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I bought into the hype. That was when I was
100%.
most susceptible to hype.
Yeah.
And also, I really liked going to Taco Bell.
Yeah, I mean, that was, I think, maybe the summer before that Godzilla came out, and I got the a frame from the film with, like, my ticket, and I was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. They gave me a frame from the movie just for buying a ticket.
Wow. Matthew Broderick, a generous man.
This is coming out of his paycheck.
Yeah. Tom?
And
so then I saw the next film, Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Which was BS because the clones didn't even attack anybody at the end. It was like...
they didn't?
No, it ended... you see all these clone armies being made,
Yeah.
and then the movie's like, and then we'll see you in the next chapter, and I never saw the next one.
I saw Revenge of the Sith on, like, cable. I don't know if I've seen the whole thing, but apparently that's the one that people are like, you know what, that one's actually, like, not bad.
Yeah, they're all fine.
Definitely better than the other two, but by that time they had, like, burned up all their goodwill.
Yeah, and I haven't seen... I saw some of The Force Awakens on an airplane.
Yes.
But guess what? The Force Awakened, the man fell asleep.
And you're the man?
Yeah, the man who was watching the movie fell asleep.
And you famously protested The Last Jedi.
What is that?
Because of too many women involved.
Oh, Tom, I don't like you turning the tables on me here. Canonically, you're the misogynist on this show.
Well, I'm just going by the screeds you were posting online at the time.
So, Galaxy's Edge takes place between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, which has not happened.
That's the one coming out this December.
And that's where Skywalker will rise.
Maybe. Could be a misleading title. There's a theory that Skywalker refers to like a new title. So there's no more Jedi, but that there might be Skywalkers, that will be like the new order. And kind of how they remember Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker.
Cool. So I don't really know much about Star
it's
Wars,
just a theory.
The lore.
Yeah.
We've had friends growing up that got into the extended universe. What do they call that?
Now it's called the like Star Wars Legends, but it was the extended universe.
And
but
there
once
were
Disney,
novels.
Yeah, once Disney bought them, they were like, "Oh, all that stuff is non-canonical now."
Right.
So we can come up with a new canon.
Right.
And make new shit. I mean, it's understandable that they were like, "Yeah, we can't keep all that stuff in canon if we're going to make new movies."
Yeah. God forbid they just like make new movies with different characters and
Right.
stuff.
Well, I mean, they kind of did with these new Star Wars.
With
Rey and Finn and Poe.
yeah. They seem like a good if ragtag group.
All good-natured.
Yeah. Again, I saw the first 10 minutes of
Yeah.
Force Awakens.
They're all like people you'd be glad if they walked into a party.
Oh, okay. So these movies are more like hangout movies.
If I told you that, you would run to the store to buy it.
I would.
They're not hangout movies. Actually, that's one of the criticisms of The Last Jedi, that like the characters are all kind of in different places. They're not really together much, I don't think.
Okay. Tom,
Mm-hmm.
isn't that what like not Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back
I
was
think
kind
so.
of like?
I think that's what they were like mirroring.
Yeah. But that was fine because there weren't a lot of women with speaking roles. Is that the thing? Look, we're just going to get a lot of angry emails.
Right.
Tom.
About things we don't really know about.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Uh-huh.
I am not a Star Wars fan.
Yes.
I want to fucking go to this place more than... Tom, you know me. I love a theme park, and
Yeah.
I love an immersive experience. An immersive theme park experience? Count me in. So my plan
Uh-oh.
is to get really into Star Wars.
Yeah,
watch all the movies, discover all the lore.
Yeah.
Read the comic books that are still in canon. I'm not going to read any of those novels.
Right.
I'm going to read a book. It's not going to be a Star Wars book.
But that's
where I draw the line.
They have, well, Tim, you're not going to read the tie-in novel that tells the story of Galaxy's Edge?
They have graphic novels for that, Tom.
Do they? For that one?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say that that's where we're on the same page, and that's why we're doing this episode. That inexplicably, and I feel like Disney hasn't even really done marketing other than, giving people access to it, reporters and YouTubers and the like.
Yeah, this thing sells itself.
Yeah. But that's why we decided to do this episode, because we've had conversations off mic that inexplicably, both of us, neither of us are Star Wars people. I'm a nerd for a lot of things, and that's always the thing that people are surprised. People are always like, "Oh, you gotta be excited about Star Wars." I'm always like sheepishly,
they put women and people of color in it now, so I'm upset.
No, I'm always sheepishly like, I like never really got into Star Wars. I know that's weird. I kind of don't get it either, but I'm just not that. I don't dislike it, but I just never got into it. But for both of us, we're like, God, I really want to go to this fucking theme park.
This is all I want to do.
Yeah. And same with you, that I want to rewatch all the movies. And at this point, like, I actually like desperately want to start watching them, but I'm like, no, I should like book tickets first and then plan it to really hype myself up beforehand. And I have no immediate plans to go to this theme park.
No, and I don't even want to go and be like, oh, you know what? At some point, I want to like visit Disneyland or
Right.
hopefully like my
Me,
big extended
Goofy, and
family
get his autograph.
make the pilgrimage. So that's that's what it's all about. I've been to Disney World a couple times. I like it because I like theme park experiences. So
Yeah.
sue me.
You love the massive corporations.
Exactly. I love giving my money to the biggest corporations there are.
Giving an amount of money that's tremendous to you, but means nothing to them.
That's all I want to do. But that's the thing. I don't want to go and just be like, I want to see this thing. Because like I popped into Harry Potter World when I was in L.A.
Okay.
I went to Universal Studios,
Right.
rode the Simpsons ride, and
Blasphemy.
oh yeah, okay. Because it took over the Back to the Future
Yeah,
ride.
Tim.
It's okay, Tom.
Sick.
Uh,
Sick, and you're
popped
sick.
into Potterville or whatever, right? And went wizarding for a little bit. And I was like, cool, I get the gist of this. I don't want to do that with the Star Wars world. I want to book a room at the hotel for like a week
Right.
and just give me the 5-star experience. I want to be in this 100%. I will save up for a year. I'll
Right,
spend
but
like,
I don't want to half-ass this.
I'm not going to half-ass this. This needs to be a perfect experience. And I don't know why, because I don't like Star Wars.
Yeah, me neither. And like I said, they're not even marketing to like I'm not seeing ads for this thing.
No, the casual fan, that's what they're going to market to in like 6 years once all the
right.
reservations are done that they're
Yeah.
taking now.
And they don't even have everything finished yet.
Yeah.
There's more to come.
I mean, the Disney World one isn't even open.
Yeah. Well, you would probably go to Disney World one, right? It's closer.
It's closer. But also, I'm more often in L.A. than I am in Orlando, so
You don't go to Orlando much?
I don't get down to Orlando all that often.
Yeah. I guess there's not. So we're going to get angry emails from people in Orlando. But
Why?
like, I was going to say there's not much to do
You
in
know-
Orlando except go to theme parks.
You know what I say to the people, or about the people of Orlando?
What's that?
They seem kind-hearted. Tom,
Yeah.
all right, let's calm down, especially you. You're going a little off the rails.
Yeah.
You've had too many greens today. But I like that you haven't like eaten vegetables or anything. You,
Haven't I?
put powder in water.
Yeah, powder that came from vegetables.
My word, Tom. It's like you're living in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, I'm gonna. If I go to Galaxy's Edge, when I go to Galaxy's Edge,
Yes, make it happen. The secret. We should make vision boards about it.
we should make. Should we do our own, or should we have a vision board here in the studio of just like?
Let me ask you something. What kind of car are you planning on renting when you go there?
Oh,
Countdown from 3. 3, 2, 1.
Millennium
57
Falcon.
Chevy.
Oh, I was gonna. Oh, I didn't realize we were being real.
Yeah.
Why would I rent a car, Tim? I want to,
To drive from the airport like a big man. Wave to the kind-hearted people of Orlando, Florida. Hello, I've arrived with the top down.
Oh no, I want like the experience. I want like some stormtroopers to pick me up at the airport. Be like, "You're coming with us," and like put me in a spaceship.
Well, that's part of it, right? The Star Wars Hotel.
Yeah,
The-
which isn't open yet, but this is the thing we're excited about.
Yeah,
and
it's-
by far the like element meant to suck the most money out of you.
Yeah, how much do you think? 3 to 4 days. 4 days at the
Star Wars
Star
Hotel.
Wars Hotel.
They're gonna give it a name, I'm sure, but for right now, it's Star Wars Hotel,
Yeah, it's gonna be like
and they haven't given it a
Ookie
release
Bookie or
date yet.
something. Yeah,
What's it gonna be?
I don't know.
Ookie Bookie.
Yeah, something like that, right? That's,
Oh, and
that's
you
like
said you
Star
weren't a
Wars
Star
thing.
Wars fan.
Look, here's the other thing: the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Orlando hasn't even opened yet.
Right.
Not until the end of August. It's going to be at Disney's Hollywood Studios, but it took over the majority of the Streets of America area, Tom. And you're like, what's that? But guess what? That includes the Lights, Motors, Action, Extreme Stunt Show.
Oh, the way these parks are getting rid of their stunt shows is a crying
It
shame.
really is. Yeah. And why not a Star Wars stunt show?
Holy moly. Yeah, get some real lasers in there.
And Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie set adventure. They haven't infringed on
The 3D show.
Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. I think
Right.
that's still there.
Yeah. I
You'd
only
still
went
get
to that
shrunk.
in Universal Japan.
Universal Japan.
Or not Disneyland Japan.
But the movie set adventure was pretty cool because guess what? It's a bunch of stuff that's bigger than
I
normal.
remember, yeah. They
But
didn't have that.
It was kind of like a playground,
Right.
Where you want. It
It's like
wasn't
not really a
I want an
ride.
attraction.
Yeah.
Here.
Why did they have to take over? I thought the whole reason why they built the damn theme park in the swamp was so that they could just keep building shit.
Disney. They just abandoned that one Blizzard Beach, the water park. Have you ever seen pictures of that?
Oh no, it's just like, nah, we're just gonna let the swamp reclaim it.
Yeah, they just there's like 200-foot high water slides that are meant to look like ski jumps, but they're just falling. They're just decaying into. And guess what, Tom? I have some great memories at Blizzard Beach. I saw Shaquille O'Neal there in 1992.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Just walking around?
yeah. Guess what, Tom?
Holy cow.
Yeah, you think, oh, I'm gonna go on a Disney adventure when I'm 10 years old. I'm gonna go with another family in the neighborhood.
Right.
My family and their
You
family.
snuck into their
We're
suitcase.
friendly with them.
Oh, I see.
No, we went, and you think, I'm not gonna see Shaquille O'Neal because he just graduated college, or he just finished his college career and was drafted by the Orlando Magic. No way he'd be in Orlando. Staying at
early.
the same hotel as our family friends.
Oh man.
Oh, Tom.
And
Tom.
that's not a guy who can lay low.
No, he's very tall.
Yeah, especially
He's
to a
big and
10-year-old.
tall. Yeah.
Must look like a damn giant walking around.
Yeah. Well, I got news for you. Megan Withers got to meet him, but I didn't.
All right. Did you? Well, why not? So you didn't see him?
I saw, in my mind,
You
I
didn't see him.
I saw him
Oh,
at
you're
Blizzard
a
Beach,
liar.
right?
At Blizzard Beach, he wouldn't be caught dead.
No,
there.
he was at Blizzard Beach.
He would. He strikes me
He
as
was
more of
there.
an Epcot man.
I mean, he was all over, Tom.
Yeah, that's true.
And people were spotting him everywhere. But in my mind, I saw him, like when I came back to school, it's like, yeah, I saw him at Blizzard Beach.
Yeah.
But, who knows? Who knows at this point?
Yeah.
That was 26 years ago, 27 years ago.
I would say let's get a polygraph done on you, but I think you might pass a polygraph because
Yeah,
you've
exactly.
been lying about it for
I
so
think
long.
I might believe this, and it probably isn't true. Anyway, Tom,
Mhm.
it's getting dangerously close to Muppet Vision 3D.
You think they might encroach upon it?
Yeah, because that is also in that same area. It survived,
Right.
but so help me God, George Lucas, I'm coming for you if you take out the Muppets.
He's no longer involved in Star Wars.
Didn't he go to the ribbon cutting though?
Yeah, but that's just because they
You know what? And all these Star
probably
Wars people,
promised him a free steak dinner.
yeah, they need to cool it about George Lucas.
What do you mean?
Everybody's like, I hate this guy.
Nah, people have come back around. That
Okay.
people have gotten so mad that now women are involved in Star Wars that they've come back around and been like, we would have rather had George Lucas.
We didn't mind the clumsy racial stereotypes
Yeah.
for some of these characters.
Yeah, the story sucked, but at least women didn't get to talk.
Queen Amidala, she spoke a lot, right?
Yeah.
Natalie Portman.
Mm-hmm.
See, I know about these movies, Tom. I'm immersing myself already.
Wow. You'll fit right in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
So what can you do in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge?
Right now, there are going to be two big attractions there. Right now, only one of them is open, and the one that is open is called Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. I think that's true. I might have these wrong. But there's another one I think it's called Rise of the Resistance. That is the one that is not open yet. And that is the one that looks like it's going to be the coolest one. So the Millennium Falcon one is a motion ride like Simpsons or Back to the Future or the old Star Tours.
Yeah, but you get to pilot it, right? Everybody gets a job on it.
Yeah,
Tom, did you not watch all the YouTube videos
No,
like I did?
I did, but that's one of those things where I'm like, do you really get to pilot it? Or like
Like when a little kid thinks he's steering the car.
right. Like I haven't looked into yet just how, I mean, and maybe it is super like, no, you're in almost complete control because, yeah, at this point, why the hell not? You know, the technology exists that we could render out, 40 different tracks that this thing can go down. So
Right.
if people change things, yeah, we can just switch it on the
Hey,
fly.
Tom, if there's one group of people I've learned not to underestimate,
Imagineers.
it's Disney's Imagineers.
Yeah.
These guys, they imagine something and then they make it a reality.
Yeah. It's almost like they're engineers who imagine things and then make them reality.
Yeah, Tom, I think that's what they named the job title after.
I thought it was a misspelling. Imaginers.
Imaginers.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe that seems more likely, though.
Yeah, because, at Disney's not, they put a typo out there. They're just going to own it rather than admit, like, because it'll ruin the magic.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we put a typo. It's like, no, we meant that all along.
So they say this is going to be an immersive experience, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you get there and it's really kind of just like a little slapdash and slipshod?
Well, my big beef with the immersive experience.
You don't like to see women wearing shorts or skirts, right?
No, I think they should only wear skirts, Tim. God, you haven't been listening. Have you not even been reading my manifestos? No.
They're just so numerous and so lengthy, Tom.
They're worth every word. Because I'm so excited about this, but when I've watched videos, like I watched this video that looked really cool where it was like, Rey from the new movies, she's guiding like a group of little girls around the park, then they're hiding from stormtroopers, and they have stormtroopers. And I've also heard that when like your time is up in the park, they don't have security come over. They have stormtroopers come to you, and they're like, you have to move, you have to leave, or whatever. And all of it looks so cool. Like that, when I was a kid, that was my dream. I wanted them to have
an immersive experience.
Yeah, you're going to make fun of me for this, but I just remember as a kid thinking like, it'd be really cool. I didn't know what marketing was, but I was like, it'd be really cool marketing. The van the Ninja Turtles drive around in, they should just have that drive around. Just have that drive around. Like, imagine if that drove past your house. They don't even need to have Ninja Turtles in there. Wow. Just imagine you saw that van. You'd be like, oh, my God. Wow. So
the original viral marketing.
Yeah. So the idea that you're walking around this place and Rey and stormtroopers and Chewbacca.
Now, will these be Rey? Will that be the actual actor from the movie?
No, but the video I saw, I was like, that is a pretty close lookalike, and she's doing the British accent and everything. And it's, like a movie accurate costume. It's like, yeah, kids are dumb. They'll buy this. And
this isn't aimed towards kids, though, Tom.
And the Chewbacca and the stormtroopers, 100% accurate. Look just like I'm sure it's the same quality costumes.
Yeah.
The problem in watching these movies, YouTube videos, is that in the background are all these fucking tourists.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to have some goof breathing near you.
Yeah, there's all these dipshits wearing like fanny packs and like neon green shirts.
Fanny packs are all right.
Yeah, you would say that. And hats and stuff like they just look like normal people at Disney World.
Yeah, would it be too much to ask to build a 14-acre section of the park where
that only I can go in?
Or the two of us?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fun for us, Bob Iger, if you're listening.
Yeah, we would love it. We would give a great review.
Get the wax out of your ears and read between the lines.
Shut it down for one day just for me and Tim. think about all the revenue you'll get in time.
We'll speak positively about it on our podcast if we have a good time.
If everything is to our liking.
And we get comped food as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And we get to build our own lifesavers.
So yeah, I think that would remove the immersion. And also they have at least one store where you can buy, it looked like fairly authentic like Jedi robes and costumes from the movies and stuff. If you're an adult, you're not allowed to wear them in the theme park.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Because
I mean, if you're buying it, maybe just don't buy the robe.
I don't know why. So I would, if I were in the park.
They're selling them so you can play sex games with your significant other on your own time.
If I was in the park and I was looking at one of these robes and it was $110 and I could only wear it at home, I'd be like, what? No, I'm never going to wear that.
But
However,
you would wear it in the park?
If they were like, it's $110, you can put it on right now and you can wear it around, I'd be like, oh, give me two. Just in case this one gets hot and I sweat through it.
Yeah, which you would.
Oh, I would in a
matter
heartbeat.
of minutes, yeah.
So that I get, because apparently it's that they don't want people walking, or it's a Disney rule that only kids can cosplay, basically, because they don't want you showing up in a Jedi robe and giving tours around there. And then it's like, oh, he must be part of the attraction. It's like, no, he's actually, we have a restraining order. He's not allowed back here.
Check it out. The fly is open on his robe.
Yeah, and that's not even, he put that in there.
Yeah,
these robes normally don't have flies.
Yeah. But Tom, the other immersive part of it is with the hotel. They take you and yours and they put you on a mission.
Yeah.
So like they might call you at 3 a.m. The way that people have described it,
Right.
like they might come at 3 a.m. and be like, you have to come and do this thing.
Yeah, they're not going to do it at 3 a.m.
But like maybe they take one of your kids.
At 3
You come back, you wake up, and one of your kids is gone.
Right.
It's like, that rascal Darth Vader's at it again.
Where's your kid? He's in the trash compactor. You better save him.
Yeah, and then it's like, we'll give you clues to lead you in the general direction, but we're not going to hold your hand through this. We'll guide you.
And some of the steps will require you buying merchandise. Which brings me to the biggest attractions, which I was very cynical about. And I'm still cynical. It's an additional cash grab at the same time. And especially when I saw, these are actually the longest lines. So if you want to get into these merch experiences, you got to head
I don't
there.
Go anymore.
Well, that's not what they call it, but it's like, that's what you have to get in line for first. I'm like, really? The first thing you have to get, like, if you want to spend $200 building a lightsaber, you better do that right away, because otherwise the line will be too long to give them $200 to do this. But then I watched a video where they made the lightsabers, and I was like, man, I want to go make a lightsaber.
Now, what makes these lightsabers better than...
First off, Tim, I think you're mispronouncing it. It's lightsaber. It's not a lifesaver.
Lifesaver.
No,
Saves
it's
your
not.
life in a battle.
That's true, actually. You know what? I stand corrected.
Yeah. What makes them, like... Does a laser come out of them and stop at a point?
No, that's not.
Is it just a plastic tube like I got at the circus when I was?
No, it's somewhere in between. Apparently, so what makes it yours? So what makes it expensive is apparently the experience, which is all being done in character. Where I think you're like brought like. You can't even really see where the shop is. You have to like sign up or whatever and then go to a place at the time you're given, and somebody will come over in character and be like, all right, come on, and sneak you into the back of
That's a good way to kidnap somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, if you're just going to bring them to another part of the park.
No, if like a member, like royalty goes there. And it's like the Duchess of something, right? It's like, I'm going to kidnap the Duchess. And you're just like, make sure she signs up to build her own lifesaver. And then you spot her when she goes in the park, and you're like, come with me to the lifesaver building room. And then really, you're going to bring her into the bathroom and dye her hair and walk her out of the park.
Right. Well, and this is an adult or a child?
An adult.
Okay.
The Duchess.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to keep it all
Then you hold her
within
for a ransom.
you'd have to keep it all within the experience, or otherwise she might get.
You wear the robe. Oh, that's why you can't wear the
Yeah,
robe.
because they're afraid of somebody kidnapping a duchess.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna dye your hair blonde like Luke Skywalker, and cut it into a bowl cut.
Duchesses are so inbred; they have no idea what's going on.
Right. All right. Well, now we're gonna get emails from duchesses. My word.
No, I'll never be a duke.
What? I don't think you understand how it works.
What?
So.
That was you saying that.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
I'll be a duke.
I'm burning all. I know I'm burning all your bridges with the duchesses.
Tim, mark my words. One day I'll be a duke. So help me God.
At best, you'll be a King Ralph situation.
Yeah. I don't want that. I want to work my way up so people know I've earned it.
Poison people and stuff.
Well, I'll poison people one at a time.
Yeah.
So they bring you in and they're like, all right, it's supposed to be like scavengers that are helping you build a lifesaver.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, we've got 4 different types, 4 different designs. And I forget what they're called, but it's essentially like one is like the Jedi, one is like Sith, then one is like natural, and then one is maybe ancient, I think. So you pick that, and
you
then
gotta get one of each, right?
No, I mean you can't during the experience. You can only do one at a time. But then from there you pick a bunch of different parts. So you are making your own
Put some
thing.
Elmer's glue, roll it in some glitter. What color glitter do you want for your lifesaver?
They don't ask you that, but they do ask what color kyber crystal you want, and you can pick. And the color,
and that's what makes the laser come out, right?
Yeah. And then the color of the crystal determines the color of the laser of
right.
the sword itself. And now the cool thing is, regardless of how you build this, in the shop after you can buy other color kyber crystals. They'll make your lightsaber turn different colors.
Wow! And how much are those? Additional
Those aren't
kyber?
bad. They're $12.99. It will also change the sounds.
Oh.
And now you have to understand, Tim. It's not like the ability to do those different sounds and colors is built into these things from the get-go. No, it comes from that plastic crystal they sell you.
Right. Now, Tom,
Mm-hmm.
an adult man.
It's $200 to build one of these.
Yeah, an adult man or woman, or adult anybody.
Yeah.
When would be the occasion that you would use such a thing? After you spend $200 and leave the room,
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you're not allowed to go swinging that around in the park.
No, I don't think you are. I think you have to keep it in the case while you're walking around.
So then what happens? You go home and
Well,
play with
presumably
it?
you've also had a loved
Oh.
one buy one, and you can fight them.
now what happens? How does the light come out?
So once you've built the whole, what is it called? Like a hilt, you know,
The handle?
the handle. They're like, all right, well, now we need to activate it. You need to, somebody's going to come around. They're going to help screw it into the activation chamber. But look, it's a little bit of a sleight of hand, because what you can't tell is that the activation chamber actually has that like big long glass piece or fiberglass piece or whatever that is the laser part. So they're screwing it into just what looks like a place to screw things into.
Uh-huh.
And then they're like, all right, now we're all going to activate. And when you press the button, a window in there goes and lights up, and then it opens up and you pull the thing out. It's like, oh, shit.
So it's
It's
like
all
a
activated.
long fiberglass piece?
Yeah, I don't know if it's fiberglass or I assume it's like some kind of plastic.
Okay.
Yeah. And
That
you can
seems
hit it.
underwhelming.
You can hit it. You know, you can go, wong, wong, wong. It makes the sounds.
Right.
And so you can like duel somebody with it. Not super hard, I imagine, but you know, you don't have to be super careful with it, I don't think.
Yeah. All right. I wouldn't do that, I don't think.
Well, but then also in the shop afterwards, you can buy like a stand for it so you can display it to
For
guests.
who? Who
For
would-
guests.
Who would be impressed by that?
Who wouldn't
You know
be
I went to
impressed by
Disney
that?
World.
I spent $200. But also, look at this lightsaber. It's
You
mine.
wouldn't
There are many
display
like
a
it.
picture of you coming down Splash Mountain. Why would you display
Tim,
the lightsaber? Oh,
I-
I went on a ride. Except this one cost $200 and it didn't move.
I beg your pardon. For years and years in my family's home was a picture of myself, my mom, and my dad all dressed up at the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, all dressed up as pirates.
Of course, you post a Pirates of the
We
Caribbean
didn't
picture.
post it, Tim. We framed it. And
Yeah.
it was the centerpiece of the living room.
Belongs in a museum.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
So why wouldn't you put a lightsaber out there where people are like, oh, cool lightsaber. What movie is that from? And then you go, it's not from a movie. It's from real life, you fucking idiot.
Tom,
I made it.
John Williams
Uh-huh.
wrote a special theme for Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
This old classical man, they got him back.
Yeah.
The man who wrote the iconic Star Wars theme.
Mm-hmm.
They
And
got
other themes within Star Wars. He wrote this one. Dan, 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 dan.
Theme from Raiders of the Ark. Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Tom, nobody says this. This is a dirty little secret about John Williams.
Uh-huh.
The Star Wars theme song and the Superman theme song, they kind of sound exactly the same.
I know. I was about to make the joke of, well, let's sing the Star Wars theme song and then sing the Superman theme song.
Is that something that people talk about a lot? People praise both of them, and they're both good songs, but they're the same goddamn song. But, oh no, Nickelback gets dragged through the mud.
Well, you're just a classic Nickelback apologist, Tim.
Yeah. I'm going to take down Williams one day, too.
Lightsabers aren't the only thing you can build there.
Slight sabers?
Yeah.
That's what yours would be. You'd be like, it's not that impressive.
No, I think they're all the same size. You can also build your own droid, Tim. And now you might be thinking, well, I'm a fan of the old movies. They got you covered. You can build an R2 unit. You might be thinking, no, I like the new movies. They got you covered again. You can build a BB unit.
A BB-8?
Or a BB-9 or a BB-1.
What?
Anything you want. And same thing with R2-D2. You can build an R2-D3.
Well, jeez. What about
no,
an R2-3D?
you can't build that. They'll throw you out of there if you try.
You get to take home a robot?
For $100, yes.
It costs less to build a robot and take it home than to build a lifesaver?
Yeah. Well, so the lifesaver is actual size. The droid is smaller.
How small?
Like this small?
Like a foot high?
Yeah, about a foot high.
Tom, you always forget that.
I know, but I
this is
was
an
trying to
audio
think
medium.
of how to display it to you.
Yeah, but...
I display it to you. You said about a foot high. It worked.
Yeah.
They do sell a R2-D2 there that is life size. That I believe is $35,000.
$35,000?
Maybe $25,000. I think it's $25,000.
Is it remote controlled?
No, it has an actual stunt
inside?
person inside,
Oh, nice.
piloting it
A
like
little
they
person?
do, like they did in the movies, which is why it costs so much money. No, it's remote controlled, which was actually disappointing. I was like, for $25,000, I want that shit to have artificial intelligence and do its own stuff.
No. I don't want it to be intelligent at all.
But yeah, so you can get the R2 or the BB, and you get same thing, like a conveyor belt comes along. You get to kind of pick different parts and then put it all together and then activate it with like a personality chip.
I don't know why, but the more I hear you describe this stuff, the less I want to go to this place.
And then you can also buy a special backpack where it keeps like the thing's head out. And apparently when you're in certain parts of the park, it will react differently.
You know what? They said that same shit about Harry Potter. And it would be like, oh, you'll never... You have to buy this real
it's like a
expensive
wand, right?
And you never know what's going to happen in the park with this wand. But, like, there would just be a window with a bunch of people crowded around flinging their wands at it, and, like, an owl's head would turn and go like, hoo-hoo! And everybody would be like, my wand did that!
Well, that doesn't happen in real life.
That's not fun.
That's better than your real life. Tim,
not
if
fun.
in real life, if an owl popped out of a window, it'd be the talk of the town.
Tom, if I saw an owl in real life, and I have seen an owl in real life, is there anything more terrifying than a real life owl?
Yeah. They're
Jeez.
scary. I've been in a room with an owl. And
A room with one?
Yeah. And the whole time they're like, you can't, you gotta understand, even talking in a whisper, it sounds like we're screaming to this owl. I'm like, all right, then get him out of here.
Let's go.
Yeah. Look, he doesn't want us here. I don't want to be in here. Get out of here.
I was walking down the street at a campsite last year,
Mm-hmm.
and an owl is
A
just...
street at a campsite?
Yeah.
The hell kind of campsite was this?
It was car camping, Tom.
Oh.
My...
Cramping.
Cramping. Classic cramping situation. My God. I stopped dead in my tracks, and I was like, well, we just had to leave for a few hours. Hopefully the owl will be gone.
Yeah, and if it isn't, then we'll just go home.
Yeah. We'll leave the tent.
You can also go, there's a Den of Antiquities. Doak Ondar's Den of Antiquities. What did you say the hotel was called? Heebie-jeebies?
Yeah, something like that.
Now here's where you can buy non-custom lightsabers. You can get people like Anakin Skywalkers, people like Luke Skywalkers, people like...
Are they cheaper?
They are. I think they're like start at $100.
Okay.
I think a Darth Maul one is close to a custom.
Dark Maul.
Sorry, what did I say?
I don't know, a word that wasn't even a word.
I think those are closer to, because that's got the 2 blades. That's closer to the cost of a custom one, but you got 2 blades.
Yeah.
So if I win, I would have to get my own lightsaber made.
You know what the best the Star Wars song is?
What?
The one that goes dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good on you, John Williams.
What about the bump 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 bump?
Played out the freaking Cantina band.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So
sorry, if you went, you'd have to get the.
Oh, I'd have to get a custom lightsaber. I'd probably be upset with my choice, so I'd have to get another one.
Okay, so $400.
I'd have to get, one of these OG lightsabers.
Okay, so
another $150
Yeah,
maybe. Oh, I'd have to get a bunch of
$550.
kyber crystals, of course.
So this is another $50.
Yeah, I'd probably get a
600.
BB-8.
700.
Yeah, and probably some robes.
So you're looking at probably 900 to $1,000.
Yeah. And they'd have to let me in for free if I was going to
If you promise to buy all that stuff.
Yeah, come
they'd
on.
clear out the park for you. Tom, you could get milk, different colors of milk.
Green and blue milk.
You can go to a cantina.
Yeah, so actually the cantina...
They got a bunch of Muppets in that cantina or what?
I think so. I know they've got the robot that was running Star Tours got a new job DJing.
Oh, cool.
And is voiced by Paul Rubens.
Oh, that actually is cool.
So he's DJing at the cantina.
They should get Dennis Leary to do a cool robot.
No, that'd be too edgy.
Yeah, like when they're ready to go edgy. I'd say 11 or 12 years when things start to go. So, but you're going to have to record it now before Dennis Leary dies.
Yeah.
Right?
You think he's going to die in the next 12 years?
I mean, also you can't count on... How old is Dennis Leary now?
I think he's up there.
I'm going to say Dennis Leary.
He's been around for a while.
Probably like 58.
Yeah. I was going to say early 60s.
Can we ask Siri? You don't have Siri. Anyway.
How old is Dennis Leary? I have Siri. 61.
61.
Yeah.
So like 71, 72, 73. He's not going to have the same edge, right?
No. But maybe they can use, who knows by what
Yeah, have him
technology
record it now.
No, I was going to say even then, they might have technology to bring somebody's edge back in post-production.
That's true. I saw part of Captain Marvel at the barbershop the other day, Tom.
You got to stop supporting this barbershop that just bootlegs Marvel movies.
Why?
Because you're part of the problem.
It's the only way I understand what you're talking about 90% of the time, because I've seen parts of these movies at the barbershop. They made Samuel L. Jackson look like a young man.
Yeah, that was a big part of the movie.
Yeah, maybe they can do that with Dennis Leary's edge.
Yeah.
12
he
years.
would still be a droid, so you wouldn't need to de-age him. You just need to
but
bring
in the
his edge
voice,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, apparently the cantina is like the hardest thing to get into.
You know
which
what
makes
sucks?
sense too, because
You
I
have
think
to you have to go to this place and you pay a lot of money to go there, and then it's like, all right, but you only have a limited amount of time in the park, and
you
you're
get
probably
4 hours.
You're probably not going to be able to do anything really. You're just going to wait in a line.
I have some pro tips.
Okay.
Apparently,
I have frosted tips.
and they look great. I meant to mention that to you.
I modeled them off of Chris Hardwick circa 2006.
This was at the same barber shop that's always showing
I brought him
like Marvel
I
movies.
brought him a picture, one of my framed pictures of Chris Hardwick, and was like, make me look like this man.
I've heard he's the nicest man in show business. Is that true?
The rumors can only be true.
What was I talking about? Oh, pro tips. So you if you want the lightsaber, you make a beeline for the lightsaber. The actual ride, the only real ride that's there so far, the Millennium
Smuggler's
Falcon.
Run, Tom?
Yeah, where you pilot the Millennium Falcon. Last thing you should do.
Wow, Tom.
You know why? Apparently, the line dies down at the end of the 4-hour experience, and you can also take advantage of Disney's rule, which is if you're in a line by the time the park closes,
the stormtroopers can't make you leave.
They can't make you leave. You're in line. You're allowed to stay in. You're never kicked out of a line in a Disney park.
Wow.
So you can rush over, count down 10 seconds before you're going to be ejected from the park. Get in that line. You'll be fine.
Get in that line. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's quite a pro tip, Tom. And your other pro tip was spend at least $1,000 on merchandise.
Look, that's up to you. But I don't think there's... Honestly, right now, aside from going to the Millennium Falcon ride, I don't think there's anything in there that doesn't cost money, unless you just want to walk around and gawk.
Yeah, and last thing Galaxy's Edge needs is gawkers.
Right. But everything's in character, apparently. Well, they're saying that, but then it's like, so in Star Wars, in the Star Wars universe, you can buy a stormtrooper helmet at a store? That's weird.
Can you buy the stormtrooper helmet?
You can buy, yes, and you can buy Kylo Ren's helmet, and you can buy an entire stormtrooper uniform.
You know what they'll probably do is be like, oh, buy these replicas of the heroes or something. You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
You know how they sell camouflage hats that say Marine Corps on them? So people can have stolen valor here.
Right.
They might say the same thing in Galaxy's Edge. They're just dress like the military.
Right. But then you might have a stormtrooper come over that goes, that's stolen valor.
Yeah.
Take that off.
Yeah.
You disgrace me.
Do they have real lasers anywhere in the park?
To the best of my knowledge, they do not have real lasers anywhere in the park. I'll tell you one thing they have that actually I'm maybe the most interested in. Although I'd like to try this green and blue milk. I don't
need any kind of milk.
Nah, I'm always whenever somebody's telling me about a new milk, I'm listening.
Really?
Yeah.
Or does that apply only to dairy milks?
Any kind of milk.
You tried this oat milk yet?
I was just about to say, Tim, I recently tried oat milk, and now I see what all the buzz is about.
Right? Well,
It's
there's a lot of oil in it, so it's fatty.
Oh, even
yeah,
better.
they add oil. Yeah.
Nice. What kind of oil? Cow oil?
Cow oil. Yeah.
Yeah, the oat milk is is by far the most dairy milk tasting milk I've tried yet.
Mm.
And I don't really like milk, which is why I drink almond milk, and I don't drink it. I put it in cereal. But I got some of this oat milk. It's even better.
What kind of cereal are you eating these days?
Captain Crunch.
Are you?
Right now I am, yeah.
Yeah, my wife buys this honey bunches of oats.
Yeah.
As if, oh no, that's an adult healthy. There's just as much sugar in that.
Your wife's buying into 90s marketing.
For grown-ups, it's not. Yeah, there's probably less. I mean, there's less food coloring.
Yeah. Yeah,
Captain
it doesn't
Crunch
look
is
as
good.
fun.
Do you have any Captain Crunch here?
Yeah, you want me to make... Oh, man, if I made you a bowl of Captain Crunch with oat milk, it's good. Let me preface it, though, Tim, because I want you flying off the handle. It's generic Captain Crunch.
The fuck?
It's store brand Captain Crunch. It's not the real thing.
Admiral Soggy, more.
No, I don't think I think it's just called like Crunch cereal or something.
Crunch by way of the Captain.
Yeah, it's made by Malto Milk. Malto Meal? Malto Meal.
Does it come in a bag?
Yeah, it comes in a bag.
Yeah.
Look, the real Captain Crunch comes in a bag.
I know. That's this dirty little secret.
That's all the cereal's dirty secret. You open
Around
up the
you,
box.
General Mills.
You open up the box. What's inside the box? A fucking bag.
Star Wars. Any final words on Galaxy's Edge?
Oh, I was gonna say, they sell soda there, like Coke and Pepsi and stuff. It comes in orbs.
Oh,
It
God.
comes in like
I cannot. I'm surprised you didn't lead with this.
I know. Well, it's the thing I'm most excited about.
I'm sure.
It comes in like little circular bottles, and it still looks like the logos still look like the logos, but it's in alien writing. So it's like when you see like a foreign bottle. No, I guess like even foreign bottles of Coke, it still has like Coke in English, Coca-Cola in English. But this, it doesn't.
That seems real cool. I'm not being sarcastic.
Yeah, it's
An
like
orb with alien writing to hold your soda.
yeah.
I'm
Great.
into it. Do you get to bring the orb home?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I think they probably prefer you recycle it there. I mean, and like the orb, it still just looks like, a Coke bottle, but in an orb shape. But you know what?
Can't
Pretty
get that
cool.
anywhere else.
Yeah.
You have
no.
to go to Naboo or wherever.
Baku.
Baku.
Batu.
Batu.
Yeah.
Of course, Batu.
Yeah. I mean, there's like other food places and stuff, but those are the big, I think we covered all the big things.
Great.
Apparently, when this hotel opens, they're also going to have like lightsaber training at the hotel.
Seems like a waste of time.
What do you mean? It seems like a waste of time.
Because, like, why are you going to
It seems like a waste of time. My child's been kidnapped. I don't have time for lightsaber training unless it's going to come in handy during the mission, which it might.
If you like the show, you can find out more information at tcgte.com. Hey, London, we're coming back and doing the London Podcast Festival this year. You can get tickets at tcgte.com/live. That's September 13th and 14th, I think, Tom?
I believe so, yes.
September. It's coming up. Do it. You can follow us on the old Facebook, facebook.com/complete guide. You can follow us on Twitter at Complete Guide. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Your Pal Tim.
You can follow me at Tom Reynolds.
Hey, earlier you heard about our Patreon. You can get books, the podcast, and so much more by going to patreon.com/complete guide. And hey, you doing Amazon shopping? tcgte.com/Amazon brings you to the same Amazon you know and love. We get a little bit of a kickback. Tom, I still got it. Still know how to do the plugs.
Wow.
Haven't done them in months.
It's like
Normally I just look at my phone while you do it.
Yeah. I was looking at my iPad. Look at how cool that bottle is.
That is cool. This orb, the Coca-Cola orb.
Right? I undersold it. Like, it's cooler looking than I...
Make that the cover art for this this
Yeah,
episode.
all right. Look at the cover art, and it's the orb.
And just admire how fucking cool it is. Tom, if not Star Wars...
It's on Wikipedia. It
Yeah.
like exists within the Star Wars universe. Canon. Coca-Cola's canon.
Everything.
Physical description: brown liquid, potable by humans.
And dogs.
Don't give dogs Coca-Cola.
Why not? Why would you eat something that your dog couldn't have?
I accidentally had a bunch of my dog's painkillers the other day.
Say no more.
Tasted like shit. It tasted like cherry cough syrup, and I'm like, why'd they make it cherry cough syrup flavored? She
seems
had
to
a
like
back problem, and she got some painkillers. She's doing much better now. Thank you for your concern.
Me? We talked about this earlier.
No, I'm talking to the listeners.
Tom, if you could choose another property, you're not really big into Star Wars, nor am I, that they would have an immersive experience where you
Back
would
to
want...
the Future 2, 2015.
That's pretty good.
They have the fucking set at Universal. Just rebuild it. The town square that they use for all the movies, and like you see on the backlot tour, they transform that into the 2015 Do it again.
Yeah, but they'd have to put some pizzazz into it. They'd have to build it out.
What do you mean?
Because those were just backgrounds, you see.
No, but they went into like the Cafe 80s.
Yeah, but that was still just a movie set. Like that wouldn't be
build
suitable for big crowds.
Let me
to
go
come.
inside and see Star Wars Jaws 3D at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Build it out.
Yeah, I know. But it wouldn't just be like, put it up in a weekend and then invite it out.
And then they could have a ride that's you on the hoverboards. You know, chasing. Maybe you're in Biff's gang. Maybe you're Biff's gang chasing me.
Yeah.
Whatever. Figure it out. Have both.
Yeah, get Bob Zemeckis and
let me design my own hoverboard.
Ooh.
I'll pay a few $100s. I paid a few $100s for this hoverboard in my room.
Yeah.
It doesn't even
gestured
work.
Too. Yeah. Oh, you would want them to sell working hoverboards.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Get your shit together.
Yeah, come on, theme parks, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge is a good start.
What would your franchise of choice be?
Happy Days.
Happy Days.
I've always
It would
wanted
just
to
be at the diner?
Yeah, I'd want to be. I'd want to
thing?
be the Fonz. I probably wouldn't. It'd be like a Shaq situation. I'd see the Fonz from afar, but like I'd hang out with Ralph Malph.
You tell everybody you saw the Fonz.
Yeah.
I saw the Fonz. He made the jukebox work, even though he didn't put a quarter in it. I swear.
See you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.